Starting off with this camel brown shade, I'm just going to be blending this into my transition area using windshield wiper motions and a very large fluffy blending brush by Morphe, and I'm just going to be going back and forth until I get the intensity and the blend that I want. The blend is important. Next up, I'm going to be taking a jumped ahead of myself. Now I'm taking a medium brown tone and I'm just going to be drawing an outer V for myself. As you can see, I'm using a brush that's tapered, and so I'm using just the very edge of it to draw out that outer V shape, drawing it deep into my crease and then bringing it along my upper lash line just halfway in. So once we have that blended out how we'd like it to be, we're going to start building onto the lids. I have one lid there. Next up, I'm taking this bronzy shade. It doesn't look shimmery, but it is, trust me, and a flat shader brush, and I'm just going to be patting this on top of my outer corner of my lid. And this is just going to be a base for the next shade that I'm going to be putting down, which is this gorgeous foiled shadow from this palette. I love this. Is probably my favorite shade in this entire palette. And I'm just packing that right on top of the outer corner of my lid. Once we have that done, I'm going to be taking this pink foiled shadow, which is another favorite from this palette, wetting my brush with some Fix Plus. You can use water, you can use eye drops, you can use whatever you want, and really patting that and building the intensity on the inner portion of my lid space there. Then once my brush starts to get a little bit cleaner and doesn't have as much product on it, I'm kind of dragging and patting it on the portion where the two shadows meet. Because there's less product on the brush, there's just going to be some of the reflex and glitter coming into where the brown is, which is going to create a gradient effect. Now I'm taking the brush I used before to apply the brown shade, and just making sure that everything is blended out really well. Then going in again with the big fluffy brush from the beginning and a little bit of the camel tone, I'm just blending the transition once more. Now just cleaning up some fallout with a makeup wipe and creating a clean line. Now we're going to do the face. Going in with some primer water, I just have the sample on hand, and next the L'Oreal Lumi Cushion. I have really been enjoying this foundation so far, you guys. I love the coverage that it gives. I love the finish that it has. Right now it's looking super dewy because I think because my beauty blender was a little too wet when I went in with it. But as you'll see, once I set it with powder and at the end, it definitely doesn't look dewy like this. It just has a little bit more of a glow than a typical foundation that's not luminous would. But overall, I really love this foundation. It didn't break me out. It lasts a really long time so long as you prime and you set. It's a great foundation. If you're looking for a new drugstore foundation and you're wondering about this one, I definitely give it my stamp of approval and recommend you checking it out. By the way, I'm in shade N3.5. Now I'm taking my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer, just highlighting the high points of my face as well as underneath, well, not highlighting underneath my eyes, concealing underneath my eyes, but highlighting at the same time. So tricky. So once that's all blended out, I'm setting it with some yellow setting powder. I'm actually using the matte yellow shade from this palette, but you know, you can use whatever you have on hand. Then I'm going to be taking some Laura Mercier setting powder and using my beauty blender to set in those portions again as well with a little bit heavier coverage. Then I'm going to be taking a large fluffy brush and just blending the rest of that powder out and onto the rest of my face to set everything. And as you can see, now there's just a beautiful glow and a little bit of dewiness, but definitely not like before. Now I'm taking this beautiful powder from Physicians Formula. This gives you such a nice airbrush finish glow. You just need a little bit of it. And now I'm going to be using this blush. I don't even know if they still have this blush. I don't think I've seen it at Ulta in a while. I think Target has it. But the shade is Mocha and it's such a beautiful neutral mauve-y pink tone. And I'm using an e.l.f. small blush brush. I absolutely love this brush. I have like 3 of them. Now I'm just going to be using that same brush and digging into the bronzer portion of that powder and just creating a soft bronze glow on my cheeks and contour area and a little bit on my forehead, just kind of adding that warmth, not really looking for too much definition there. Today I'm wearing one of my go-to MAC shades in Brave. This is such a pretty shade and it goes so well with the light pink and the bronzy tone on the lid. Now we're going to go back in and finish up the eyes. I'm just blending out that harsh line from the makeup wipe. And now I'm taking this brown shade and a push liner brush. I'm just going to be packing it on the outer portion of my lash line, very close to my lash line. The whole point of this is just to create a little bit of extra definition, but if you want, you can totally add liner to this look as well. Now I'm taking this camel tone color again and running it along my lower lash line with my Morphe Morphe E36 brush. I love this brush for the lower lash line. It's so soft. And using the push liner brush and the brown again, I'm just lining the outer half of my lower lash line. Now I'm going to be taking this new mascara and some of this pink shimmery shade from the palette and using it to highlight my inner corners. This is such a pretty shade, and as you guys can see, adding the extra color there just kind of brightens up the look even more. Now I'm going to be taking some gloss because I felt like my lips just needed it with this soft look. This is a creme brulee gloss. It's a very sheer pink gloss, just adds a little touch of color. All that's left to do now is highlight. I'm going to be using this Physicians Formula highlight to give me a very natural and soft glow to my cheekbones. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos like this. I will see you guys next time. I have quite a few tutorials coming up, so I hope that you guys will stick around for those.